everybody, and welcome to another episode of my weekly Crochet Corner. Today, I'm going to teach you all about yarn weights and hook sizes. Before we get started, if you want to make sure you never miss another episode or you want to catch out a stream, make sure to drop me a follow and check out my Twitch and YouTube. With all of that said, let's get into the lesson. To start, let's discuss yarn weights. I'll be explaining yarn weights based on this chart that's behind me. As you can see, there are 7 different weights of yarn, 8 if you count 0. On the chart, you can see that there's a bunch of different information on here, including yarn types, hook sizes, gauge, and common projects. I won't go through all this information here, but I'll give a little bit of an explanation for each one. To start, number 0 is your lace yarn. These are things that you use for lace, or doilies, or very thin shawls. The next one is superfine yarn. Again, common projects for these are lace, doilies, and shawls. Moving on over is number 2, which is fine yarn. Common projects using this yarn are larger lace pieces, light garments, and baby items. Moving over is number 3, which is light yarn. Common projects using this are baby blankets, amigurumi, and other kinds of garments. Next up is number 4, medium weight yarn. This is the yarn I use most commonly and is most commonly used for multitudinous different projects. The chart here lists blankets, hats, scarves, and many others. Next up is number 5, bulky weight yarn. Most common projects made with this kind of yarn is blankets, hats, scarves, and rugs. Because yes, you can crochet rugs. Second to last is number 6, super bulky yarn. Common projects made with this yarn are heavy blankets, baskets, scarves, and rugs. Again, you heard me right. You can crochet baskets. Finally, we have number 7, jumbo yarn. Common projects made with this are heavy blankets and finger crochet. Again, you heard me right. You can crochet with your fingers. You don't need a hook. When I tell you that this craft is extremely versatile and very accessible, I mean it. It is extremely versatile and extremely accessible. But Nanaru, how do I know what kind of hook to use for what kind of yarn? I'm glad you asked, dear viewer. When you look at your yarn label at the store, if you roll it around, you should be able to find a little symbol on there that's going to tell you what type of hook to use for the yarn. There will be one for crochet and one for knitting. I would just like to note though that these numbers and these sizes on these labels are recommendations. You can move a hook size up or down depending on what you plan on making and how tight you want the stitches to come out. Speaking of hook sizes though, let's talk about the different hook sizes. Today I'm just going to be telling you what I see most commonly here in the US. Using this chart behind me, hook sizes can range from 2mm all the way up to 10mm, but if I'm quite honest, I'm pretty sure I've seen even smaller and even bigger hooks. Again, if you want to know what kind of hook to use for what type of yarn, make sure to read the label that's on the yarn, or if there's a pattern that you're wanting to follow, make sure to read the pattern. Again, I would just like to say that these numbers are suggestions. If you want to make a certain thing bigger, use a bigger hook. If you want to make a certain thing smaller, use a smaller hook. If you're reading a pattern, the only thing I would not deviate from is the type of yarn they recommend you use. But that's just me speaking from my own experience. Other people may have different experiences. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and I hope you were able to learn something. Next week, I'll be teaching you how to make a single crochet.